All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Today is Thursday, June 24th. My name is Jennifer Quartas. If you do not know me, I am coming to you live from West Palm Beach, Florida, and we are going to chat today about why financial services is taking over for 2021 for being one of the top rated careers for the year. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about initially here is, what is your American dream? What do you see yourself accomplishing this year, and does your current situation allow you to do that? All right, now we're going to go ahead and jump right into the 3 steps that you have to put in place and implement to live the American dream. Okay, now we are specifically talking about the industry of financial services. So if you are in the insurance industry or you've considered it before, you might be hearing the term, entrepreneur a lot. But what we are going to tell you is something a little bit differently, and that's the first step to actually claiming your financial freedom and creating a paycheck and income on your own timeline, your own time frame, right, is to actually become an entrepreneur. So what are the differences between the two? Well, when we look at entrepreneur, it's a little bit different than its sister or brother, entrepreneur, right? An entrepreneur is somebody who takes a lot of risks. They take on great financial risks to be able to operate a business. Sometimes they have multiple businesses, but generally speaking, they're laying out all of the dollars and trying to figure out all the systems, working out all the kinks to have their business to be successful. Now, you've probably heard before that, a business isn't considered to have any kind of success until they've gotten past their first year, third year, 5-year marks, right? Because this is where the issues arise, and it kind of determines, what path somebody is on, whether it's going to be stable or not. Now, the difference between that and an entrepreneur is that an entrepreneur, they actually act or behave like a an entrepreneur. The difference is that they aren't taking the bulk of the financial risk. They're just implementing the systems that have been put in place by the people who took those risks, and they do it well. Okay. Now, an entrepreneur has the opportunity, even though they are kind of working underneath the wings of the person that created the systems and put them in place, you still have the freedom to create your own schedule. Now, we've learned in the last year and a half that we've been dealing with this pandemic that sometimes our current situation isn't what's really making us happy, right? A lot of people have reached out to me and said, this is a time where we were challenged, and it's a time where I realized that I have bigger dreams, bigger goals, but I don't have the financial means to take a huge risk or have large overhead to start a business. Well, that's great for people who are looking at an entrepreneur type of model, because you won't have to have those risks. You can choose whatever your niche is and continuously follow your passions. You're in charge of your organization. So essentially, you are your own boss. You will be making big decisions. But the beautiful thing is that you're part of a network of other people who've been there and have had experience prior to you, maybe even stepping into that role, and will help you to navigate that. You have the option of working from an office if you so choose to, but this industry has allowed itself to take advantage of beautiful things we have, like the internet, technology, like our cell phones, and you can literally work from anywhere that there is an internet connection. The income potential here is pretty unlimited. There's huge growth potential. We're looking for people who can step up and, be management type of material and help and train other people. But, realistically, who does well as an entrepreneur is somebody that has passion and is honest and is hardworking and really wants to make a difference. Now, it's important that in anything that you're trying to accomplish, especially if you're going after a big dream, you have to do it within the right industries. So oftentimes I've been asked, well, why would financial services be that financial benefactor? Why would I choose that? The truth is, none of us ever woke up in the morning and said, oh, when I grow up, I want to be an insurance broker, right? That is true. However, circumstances have led almost everybody I've met to this space. So if you're here and you're seeing this, chances are you're probably in that space as well. Before I make decisions, though, regardless of what the opportunity is, I always ask myself a couple of things. One, is there a market for this product or for what I would be doing? And the second question is always, how big is that market? So here you're seeing right now on your screen a series of 5 different generations of individuals that are currently alive today, right? We have our early generations that are up to 1946, our baby boomers between 1946 and 1964. A lot of people who I deal with daily are in Generation X. And then we've got our millennials who don't do business like everybody else, right? So if you are looking for something that you don't have to be tied down to a corporate style, this is it for you, right? But I say this, our target market is massive because at all different areas, steps, and stages of people's lives, they come across scenarios where money is either going to help them or hinder them, right? And what we do is we help to solve financial problems before they happen. But one of the products that I focus on and our company focuses on is one that most people ignore, and that's how to make their money work harder for them and use cash inside of what's called a BYOB account, which we'll cover in a few minutes, to actually get somebody out of debt and reverse their financial implications. Now, when we look at major financial problems that happens in people's lives, they're pretty catastrophic when you look at the gravity of them. First of all, those older generations, the two on the far right that we were looking at on the previous screen, the problem that we're having right now is that there are about 10,000 people a day that are turning 65 years old. And it's a good problem to have. We're living longer. We have better medical treatments. But here's the situation. They're outliving their assets. And then they're looking to their children or their grandchildren to help them to get through that breaking point of 65 to 95 years old, where it's 30 years of income that they needed to have saved up. But for the last couple of decades, everybody, most of us know, have been living at or above their means and have now been hit by a pandemic. So it's multiple problems, right? On top of multiple problems. So we have to fix that. Well, we have problem solvers. We have products and solutions for that. But the second major financial problem that we have is one that most people, they don't expect. But all I'm going to say to you is take a look at your family and what diagnoses have happened to your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your great grandparents. When you go to the doctor's office and you're filling out that history of medical, when you're trying to remember, what did my grandma have? What did my aunt have? My uncle have? These are the things that you want to think about that could genetically be catastrophic for you in the future, because we have to look at things that are critically, chronically, and terminally ill type of scenarios. And you need to have access to cash in the event that you're ever diagnosed with something. Well, we do that for our clients too. There is this money that is set aside inside of their policy that they will have access to in the event that they receive one of those diagnoses. Taxes, guys, we can't make taxes go away, but there is one thing that we can do better, and that we can show people that accounts such as 401ks, 403bs, that your jobs, your employers potentially have given to you in the past and doted on it, that it's the greatest thing ever because it's pre-tax dollars. forgot to fill in one very important bit of knowledge. And that's that if you actually go to cash that money out when it's time, you're not going to be taxed on what the taxes were at the time that you would have paid when you put that in. You're going to be taxed 30, 40 years down the line when taxes have gone up how many times? We always say taxes go up every year, right? So is that a benefit to you? Probably not. Market risks, people want to grow their money. We eliminate the risky part and show you how to get guaranteed growth of that income. And the biggest major financial problem, which is self-perpetuated, is debt. Guys, debt is the number one thing that kills people's dreams, but it also is creating the situation where people are outliving their assets, not having enough money for their illnesses, and have to grow their money. Okay, now let's look at a couple of facts here. These facts came from a couple of websites. One is marketwatch.com, one is thestreet.com. Definitely go and check them out. See, we did not make these facts up, right? Right now, as we speak, 9 million Americans are relying on Social Security disability benefits. That means that at some point in their life, they were diagnosed with something critical, chronic, terminal, right? They are a bulk of the situations that we can solve, right? But the thing is, the solutions have to be implemented before the diagnosis is given to be able to take full advantage. So if it's already happened to 9 million people, how many more people do we have living in this world that might happen to that you can now help? So this gives you an idea of how big our market truly is. 8 in 10 Americans have some form of consumer debt. Guys, that's everybody you know. 8 in 10 people. My question to you is, how much debt are you contributing to? Debt would be, things like your mortgage, your cars, your credit cards, anything that you have financed. We can show people how to actually eliminate that consumer debt in half the time or less without even spending any extra money than they're already budgeting for right now, especially if it's somebody who likes to make extra payments to try to pay their debt down, which we know just gets eaten back up by the interest the following month, right? 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings for emergencies. And it's actually probably higher than that now because of the fact that COVID just happened and people exhausted their emergency savings. So now what happens the next time you have an emergency? And what happens to be, if that emergency is medical and you have to put money out before you can be treated? You'd be surprised how many phone calls I get like that on a daily basis. $68 trillion is about to be transferred in the next 25 years from one generation to the next. We are in the greatest wealth transfer maybe ever. And the people who are going to cash in on this are those who are in the financial services industry and those clients that we have helped to put the correct plans in place. Now, when you're looking at this as a career, there were a couple of places, Indeed and US News, that every year they take a look at what careers are out there, where they fall. And here's what we found. In the top 20, careers in financial services placed four different slots. First one, we ranked number 2 for best in sales and marketing jobs. And it was for many reasons. Number 1 being how happy people are because of the fact that they can make a substantial amount of income. The product helps people. You can feel good about it at the end of the day. And you're not in it alone. You have people to bounce ideas off of. You have other individuals who've been there and can shorten your learning curve to success. And you can maintain that happy, work-life balance that we all crave, especially when you can travel and let your children experience, great things in life, especially now that the majority of our kids are homeschooled. and you can still work because there's an internet connection, right? Number 6, that was the ranking for jobs that actually pay over $500,000 a year. And the average for financial service brokers is over 500,000 a year. So we took spots 2, number 6, and 13 and 20 are similar. It's the highest paying jobs without a degree and the best fulfilling jobs without a college degree. So you can literally have what we say a PhD, a public high school diploma, take an online course right from the comfort of your house, get your certification, go take a test one time, and have a license now to have an amazing career in financial services. And you do not need to go to college to make it happen. And one of the greatest things is that if you've ever followed anything in the insurance or financial services industry, you will understand this. It is a crisis-proof industry. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite of being affected in a negative way of crisis, because when the rest of the world is closing up, shutting down, and everyone's in fear that they're losing their jobs, losing their benefits, and something bad could happen to them or their loved ones, guess who they call? They call their life insurance agent. They call their financial services person to get their money in order. And when you look back in history, history repeats itself. When you look back in history and you look at things like the Great Depression, recessions, pandemics, the one industry that is heavily unaffected and quite the opposite grows substantially, and I can vouch that that's what my business did in the last year, is the financial services industry. And step 3 to implementing what you need to reach your goals and have that American dream, whatever that is for you, is choosing the right platform. So let me show you now why we are different. What makes us different than everyone else? First of all, you never want to be part of an organization where someone says, do what I do, not what I say, or they're not in the trenches with you. The great thing about Exertis is that it's actually a Latin term, and it stands for tested, tried, approved, and experienced, but it's actually more of a feeling than anything, because when you're working with our company, the leaders are in the trenches with you. The people who are helping you have been there, done it, and figured out what doesn't work, which helps you to shorten your learning curve. Now, a little bit about our company. We are what's called an FMO in the insurance and financial services space. That stands for Financial Marketing Organization. Essentially, what we do is we help other people to have their own independent marketing organizations. We're a privately owned company. We have over 100 plus years of combined business experience. And even though we are just over 6 years old at this point, we are still a ground floor opportunity that is incredibly scalable, different than most financial services and insurance operations in your communities, because you can actually have offices, virtual or physical, in all 50 states and scale your enterprise quite substantially. I can tell you that my personal business is in over 38 states right now and will be in all 50 by the end of this year. And that is because when you have your own IMO, your independent marketing organization, you're able to partner with licensed brokers across the country. We represent in the best way possible our clients, because we work with 20 different carriers that you can choose from. You are not limited in any way, shape, or form. We have a hybrid compensation plan. I don't know of anywhere else out there where you can have access to that. We fast track you through our system. You have the opportunity to have revenue shares. You can build an enterprise, or you can just come in as an agent and just put your head down into the business and just write business in your own pen. Help people in that way. But we all know that social media is taking over, especially now that so many people are at home. If you thought it was big before pandemic, it is exponentially grown now. And if you do not have a virtual type of environment, website, something set up online, you are going to be left behind, right? So I'll go into that in just a few minutes. We have a virtual training system and a equity ownership program that I'm going to break down for you in details here as well. Now, first off, let's talk about social media and our software. The reason that you're able to actually help so many people from home or from anywhere that has an internet connection, because in our business, we choose to travel and meet up with our partners a lot because we can. So even though it says work from home, it's kind of like work from any home. We tend to rent some Airbnbs, periodically here and there, and bless different communities with our knowledge, right? But here's what is great is that I have been marketing online across social media 100% for the last 13 years. And it has grown, it has emerged, but there's always issues. I always notice that a lot of these companies out there that talk about, oh, you can work from home, oh, you can, work across social media. They always forget to allow you to brand yourself. They just want you to brand them. Well, we don't do that here. You get your website and landing pages, and you get to customize them to you, your personality, your vibe. Find your tribe that way, right? Because that's how you're going to connect, not with what our beautiful page looks like, but what represents you the best. The second problem is that most of these companies out there, and I'm not talking just financial services, I'm talking anything across the board where you're working from home and you are sharing information across social media. A lot of times they say, oh, the only way we do it is online, but then they don't give you tools that help you find the leads, like, images, videos that have been done for you. We actually test out different leads and targeting certain niches. We go all in. We actually tell you who to target, what image we used, and break down for you how to find your leads through ads on social media. So you're not even bugging your friends, right? You don't even have to post it on your personal profile. So that's definitely a step up from anything else I've ever seen out there. You have video conferencing and chat tools. You can participate in different training styles. We have online, we have on the phone, in person. It's up to you. And we provide all the social media and marketing content for you to use. But every Friday, we actually train you how to brand yourself, how to create your logos, how to put yourself out there and really exhaust your niche, right? Online and we even teach you to create your own imaging, which is, it's actually priceless because there are people out there that charge an arm and a leg for that. So let's talk about some of the solutions now that we provide for our clients. Okay. First one that we're going to cover is BYOB. It stands for Be Your Own Bank. So you can do what the banks do, not what they say. And what we do is show our clients how to leverage their money like the banks do. You all know, or you should know, that banks are a business, first of all. Second of all, every time we put money into there, they turn around and they make $7 for every $1 we give them. So what they're doing is they are taking those dollars, that money, and they're putting it into accounts like BYOB, and they are utilizing the rule of 72 to get the compound interest on the money. It's incredible to see how much money they actually make just in interest. And it proves, why so many banks and places are opening up different locations across the country in the middle of a pandemic. So we implement this same strategy for our clients. But instead of showing them how to open up bank buildings, what we do is we show them how to leverage that money and pay all their past debt off, finance future purchases, and even have those dollars for their retirements, which brings us to 770X, which is the tax-free retirement protection that Exertis Financial Partners provides to our clientele. This is the solution. This is the solution for 401ks, 403bs, and IRAs. Why? Because we mentioned before that those dollars are taxed way heavier at the end when you're actually taking that money out than if you had paid the taxes on it when you put the money in. It's not a good solution. It might have been a long time ago, but there are other more productive, better ways that give you that market protection and that market potential, right? And that's what this program is designed for. We then have the Infinity X plan, which allows you to take care of your money, protect it, and have income for the rest of your life during the years that it's needed. We help our clientele to have a paycheck come into them every year during those most important times where most people are living on a budget. And that brings us to the system. So when you come on board with us as a partner, whether you're brand new in the industry and you're learning everything, or you are very experienced and you're bringing a lot of knowledge with you, what we do is we help you to learn our systems. We match you up with somebody who has been certified as a trainer in our company. Just because somebody introduced you to Exertis, it's not like most opportunities out there where if you refer somebody, they go in your quote unquote downline and you're responsible for training them when you just started out. Actually, you're not allowed to train them. So what we do is we partner you or, those that you have referred with somebody who knows the products, knows the system, and is an expert trainer, and help you then to reach your goals, move you up through promotions, getting an increase in your commissions, your payout, and the mentorship that you need to make that happen. Because our end goal here with Exertis is we have this equity owner program, and we're really making history with it because we are an agent mutually owned company. Our FMO is agent mutually owned. I don't know of anybody else out there doing this. And I say when, not if, because there's already been offers on the table, but we aren't taking them yet. When Exertis Financial Partners goes to the selling table and a major insurance carrier absorbs us as a new marketing arm of their business, whatever the selling price is of this company, that 50% share of that is going to be dispersed between all of the national directors here. And the thing is, you can actually hit national director within 60 to 90 days. If you want to make it happen, you definitely can. And what's wonderful is that you don't have to wait until you're national director to start earning equity points. Equity points are earned from day one, no matter what you're doing in your business, whether you're helping out a client, you're building an organization. It doesn't matter what it is. It'll earn equity points that you can turn around in 2.5 to 4 years from now, cash that out, and walk away wealthy at that point. Or keep your business, which what most of us are probably going to do, because our organization is about more than just dollars and cents. Even though money is, what keeps your bills paid, it's our environment is what keeps us so engaged, because we lead with 4 things. We call it the 4 F's of Exertis. It's faith, family, finance, and then you got to work hard and you got to play hard. So you have to have some fun. So we want to show you now. I want to show you now some of the travel that we've done. We want you to travel with us. We've gone to places like Hawaii. Here's some of our partners with our CEO, people having fun in different areas. I've been to Napa with the company. That was a really great experience. This was, I believe, in Las Vegas. This is actually a room of pastors that of mega churches that were looking for ways to actually tap into resources to be able to help those that are struggling in their communities. And they are all part of our organization, and doing really great things. So you could just see, this is really something that anybody from any background can come into, learn what it is that we do, share it with our clientele, and then go and have fun, have experiences with us. Recognition is something we're real big on, because for some people, what drives them, and I'm one of those, what drives them is not just the money, but it's seeing that what you're doing it matters, and it's making a difference in all different ways. So here's a group of some individuals as they were being promoted. They got their ownership contracts at this point. This is a group of individuals that earned an Exertis watch. We also have rings that we give out. This is our most recent MX3 expert training. When we certify for this, before you can train anybody that comes into the company, you go through a 2-day grueling testament of your knowledge and dedication. And not everybody even got to walk out of that room with their certificates. But for those who did, you see our first class featured here, our second group featured here, and our third group, here's me over here, getting our certificates so that we can help individuals like you when you come in who have decided to be an entrepreneur and see the value there. Basically, being an entrepreneur is comparable to having your own franchise within the financial services industry. And once you've chosen that this is that field that you want to explore, and you're considering now becoming part of Exertis Financial Partners, we want to have the next conversation with you. I know that you want to see what it is that we earn, to be a part of this. And then, so once you have that information and you're confident with that, you will join the Exertis Financial Partners family, be part of the crusade to utilize financial services, help those in our community, do this as many times as possible, and walk away with the most equity points as we can. But that said, I want to be the first one to welcome you to Exertis, and thank you to those of you who took the time to jump on here with me today. Now, one of the things that I'll share with you, and then we're closing out here, I'll be going live here in a couple of minutes on the compensation piece. So you'll be able to catch that or the replay a little bit later if you like. But if you want more information or you'd like to schedule a time to speak with me, my name is Jennifer Cuartas, and you can go to my website, which is www.goodbudgetsense.com. That's CENTS. So again, thank you so much and take care. I'm going to go ahead and wish you all a great day. Bye-bye.